Hi, and thank you for joining for another edition of Rabbi Stein's PPE. This week we want to look at Parshas Yisro, Parshas Yitro, whatever we want to pronounce it. And really, why is Yisro being singled out to be named his own Parsha? Yes, we have a Parshas Pinchas, but only a small episode of Parshas Pinchas delves on the episode between Pinchas himself. And obviously Parshas Noach was monumental, but Yisro, what did he do? What was his contribution? What did he do that was so epic and so worthy to name an entire Parsha? Not only the Parsha, but to have the 10 Commandments given in the very same Parsha as well. Here, I want to segue into one of the most common tefillahs that I love to delve into, and that is during the Amidah, we say, Atah chonein la'adam da'at, umelamed le'enosh bina. You, Hashem, have favored mankind, Atah chonein le'adam, you've graced mankind with what? Dat, das, which is intellect. We have knowledge, we have understanding, chachma, bina, dat, wisdom, knowledge, intellect, however you want to call it, bina, understanding. Imagine a world we didn't have intellect. You would look at something, you would study something, you would read something, and absolutely zero would remain in your head. You wouldn't understand how the world works, bichlal, not even one single iota, no chance. And yet, we have a world full of understanding. We have a world full of knowledge. Right now, the amount of information and knowledge that is accessible at your fingertips is immeasurable. It's incomprehensible. Some of the biggest, largest machines that we can even create nowadays can't contain all that information. It's a massive undertaking. So you see, Yisro, as we now make a full circle, Yisro perceived and he possessed a tremendous amount of das, of intellect. How so? He comes and searches out the Jewish people. He goes to look for Moshe Rabbeinu. Yes, he knew who Moshe was. He gave his daughters, and Moshe married to Tzipporah, Yisro's daughter. Moshe was a good guy, Tzipporah was a good girl. But who was Yisro? What did he stand for? What did he represent? He was a priest. He was a priest of Avodah Zarah. He was a priest of idol worship. He was like not just some little guy. He was the highfalutin, the high class. He was a Kohen Midyan, a priest of Midyan. This, my friends, this is the point. Yisro saw something. Yisro woke up and perceived something. And his perception led him to leave everything that he knew behind. All his entire life, his entire existence, he abandoned to go and search out Moshe Rabbeinu and the Jewish people. Where? In the desert. A place that is devoid of everything. No existence. My understanding and the message that I want to convey is the following. How much of life do we go through searching, yearning, questioning, desiring and understanding? And when we find that understanding, we make an excuse to change. Yisro woke up. He was presented with an opportunity to understand. That understanding shook him to the core. That understanding transformed his life, and that he had to abandon every single previous notion of his entire existence from that point onward and leave it all behind. That is worthy of a Parsha. You see, we all have an ability to be worthy of a Parsha. When we hear something, when we see something, when we experience something so transformational, we can't ignore it. That was Yisro's calling. And that is why, according to my also understanding, is why he was Zocha. He was meritorious to have a Parsha with the 10 Commandments, because the 10 Commandments transformed human existence forever. Every single nation in the world, every single human in civilization benefited from the giving of the 10 Commandments. My bracha to you is, Atah chonein le'adam das. You have graced mankind with understanding. Let's use that understanding. Let's use that knowledge to understand and digest what Hashem gives us and what our role is supposed to be in this world. Shabbat Shalom.